at all or no? We're like, hello,
It's all
hello.
you. I'm not going to
Okay,
introduce you.
okay, sounds great.
Okay. Well, now that I'm here, welcome everybody. So I'm gonna disappear, but I did want to introduce Sheila K. She's our new launch cart monetization strategist. She's been doing print on demand all over the world. And what I mean by that, she's taken her laptop, traveled all over the world, and paying her bills and seeing the world, doing print on demand and doing stuff online and making money with the laptop lifestyle. So she's excited to be a part of Launch Cart. I'll let her take it from here, and you can have fun. And she's going to teach you guys how to make money in the print on demand world.
All right, sounds great. Thanks, Greg. Appreciate it. Hello, everyone. I am Sheila K. I'm Launch Cart's new monetization strategist. It's so great to meet you. I'm so glad you guys are on. So this is part of a 3-day challenge. My job as a monetization strategist here with Launch Cart is to help you guys make money with Launch Cart. So I've set a goal. I have this crazy goal to help 1,000 people this year make their first dollar online using print on demand and specifically with Launch Cart. So that's what we're going to do. So we're first starting out with this challenge, and it's a 3-day challenge. I've got my notes here that I'm reading. The first day here, day 1, we're going to talk about what is print on demand and why now is the best time to be on print on demand. We're going to talk about the most important part. Hey, Diamond Zimmerman. We're going to talk about niches, how to pick a niche. If you don't have the right niche, you won't make any money. The riches are in the niches. The riches are in the niches. Hey, T.L. Robinson, what's going on? So that's what's important. Day 2 is tomorrow at 1:30 Central Standard Time. We're going to get into, then we're going to talk about the high margin products you can choose. There are so many products in print on demand. I'm going to teach you guys, once you got your niche, now how to pick the best products to make you the most amount of money. I'm so excited for tomorrow. I'm going to show you guys where to find these products as well and how it all works in the Launch Cart ecosphere. And then day 3 is going to be next Tuesday at 7:30 Central Standard Time. And we're going to talk about how to build your Launch Cart store. How to build it. So Candace Ryder is going to be on with me. She's the Launch Cart builder store extraordinaire. She's going to help us put together a quick down and dirty store, how to do an integration so that you guys are going. Because I want those of you that are new to print on demand or new to Launch Cart, or maybe you've been around for a while, but I want all of us to have this even playing field to get started, to be able to do this correctly and make as much money as possible because it's so much fun. So that's what's happening. A little bit about me. I am Sheila K. I've been an internet entrepreneur for the past, 15 years, full time now, probably about 8. So I'm kind of known. I used to, many years ago, I was a big corporate woman in Hollywood, Beverly Hills, whatever. My previous life, I was a recruiter for 20 years with companies like the Walt Disney Company, movie studios, etc. But back in the early 2000s, actually, what was it? About 2007 or so, I had this really great life, Beverly Hills, making all this money, but I realized I just wasn't happy. There was something more to it. So a book called The 4-Hour Workweek came out, and I learned about traveling, making money online. I was like, oh my God, that's it. That was my life. And so I wanted to live abroad, live in all these foreign countries. And that's what I've been doing. I've been traveling around the world, literally full-time, home free for the past over 8 years. And I just spent all those years trying on countries, living abroad, making money online, because I wanted to figure out where I could actually settle down. And happily, 3 years ago, in 2019, I made it to Mexico. Once I got here, I was like, that's it. So I currently live and thrive here in beautiful Mexico. I've been on 2 coasts. I'm on the West Coast now in Puerto Vallarta, Sunny Beach, all those things. So that's kind of me. So I got into print on demand myself back in 2018. When I heard about it, I was like, oh my God, that's really what I want to do. I wanted to get into e-commerce because I knew there was a lot of money to be made in it. But because I didn't have a home, I was traveling around the world, I could not do e-commerce the way everybody else was doing it, where you order things from China and you send things out from your garage. I couldn't do those things because I didn't have a home. So once I heard about print on demand, I was like, oh my God, that's it. I don't have to have inventory. I don't need to be shipping anything out. I can live in the Dominican Republic or Australia, and I could run this business from wherever I am as long as I've got a computer. And so I created my first print-on-demand business. I created my own wrapping paper. It was an African-American themed wrapping paper. I launched it in November 2017, and it was a hit. I made, oh my God, I made more than almost 5 figures selling that print-on-demand. I've gone on to make a lot of money doing a lot of different things. So that's kind of me. So I love print-on-demand. I eat, breathe, sleep print-on-demand. I love working with newbies, people that just don't understand it. I like to make it very easy for you guys to understand. I like to make it also for you guys can actually take action. So what is print on demand? Print on demand allows us, hey, Facebook user, print on demand allows us to make custom products and then work with a third party platform. We can put our images on these products and we can sell them to people all around the world. So let me give you an example. Let's say I wanted to create a dog t-shirt as an example. Well, I could obtain a picture of a dog from different kind of sites. I can have somebody make it for me. I can go to a site, maybe like Create a Fabrica, and I can get an image of this dog. And then I can go to a site called, we can use Printful, because our Printful works with Launchcart, and I could put that image on any one of several hundred products. And next thing you know, I've got my dog image on mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, hats, canvas art, aprons, all these products. We're going to talk about products tomorrow. And people around the world can actually see that, and they can click a button, they can buy it on our website, they can buy it on Etsy, and then once they buy it, that information is transmitted to Printful, and Printful sends that information to our customers. Now, how do we make money with that? Susan says, I was in Canva making designs. Canva's great. We're going to talk about that too. How do we make money with that? Well, with these providers that make our products, we get the products basically at a wholesale price. So let's say I want to make a mug. So I can get a mug with one of these companies, let's say for $5. Well, I can sell that mug for $15, sometimes $20, depending on the kind of mug it is. So that difference between the $5 and the $15 or that $10, that's my profit. And so minus ad costs and things like that, whatever's left over, that's what I get to keep. And that's how we make money with print on demand. And the great thing about it is the customer does not know that we paid $5. They get the item, they get what's called a blank receipt. So they just know they paid 15 bucks for a mug, it showed up for them, and they're happy. They buy over and over and over again. So that's what print on demand is. I've got an image here. Greg, can you go to share my screen here? Can you all see how does the print on demand business work? It should be an image that shows print on demand.
Yep, we sure can.
Perfect. So this is a picture of how print on demand works. If you see here in the upper left, the customer, we have our website. You can have a website. You can sell on Etsy. You can sell on Amazon, all these different places because we have integrations. The customer places an order. Order goes to our website, let's just say our Launchcart website as an example. Then the order, once they do that, they pay with their credit card. The order then is transmitted to our print on demand supplier. So you could say Printful in this, for instance. Then the print on demand supplier will then print the item. We're over here on the right. And then the supplier puts the artwork on the item that we chose. The supplier takes care of the packaging, they package it up, and they send it to our customer, and then rinse, repeat over and over and over and over and over again. Now, what are some of the pros of print on demand? Well, there are 3 pros I know for me. Number 1, it allows me to get into e-commerce at a very low price. I don't need to buy inventory. I don't need to buy a brick and mortar store. I don't need any of that. It just takes, a little bit of money for ads if you want to run ads or your graphics or what have you. So I always tell my students, you can get started in this for less than $100. I've never spent more than $100 to get started in anything with print on demand. So let's say $100 budget that you've got, right? So the cost of to get into it is really low. The shipping is handled for you, and you have a wide variety of products you can put things on. Now, of course, when there's pros, there's also cons. So some of the cons to it are you don't control the shipping. Sometimes, like for instance, when COVID hit back in 2020, as we all know, the shipping space kind of blew up. So customers were getting orders late, so we didn't really have control over those things, right? Another thing, sometimes with print on demand, depending on the items that you choose, the margins can be a bit low. But I'm going to show you guys how to pick higher margin items. And then another con is sometimes there's limited product choice, but I'm going to show you guys how to get around that. So that's how print on demand works. Now, why is now, I think, the best time to get into it? I've got, 8 reasons why now is a great time to get into it. Number 1, I mentioned COVID before. When COVID hit back in 2020, what happened? E-commerce exploded. The numbers, the research told us that every year e-commerce went up in popularity and money that we could make. Well, during 2020, the amount of growth we saw in just that 1 year was equivalent to the previous 10 years of growth in the e-commerce space. Why? Because everybody was at home. Nobody could go shopping. No one could go to the stores. Everybody started buying things online. Even people that said, I will never shop online, it's a scam, blah, blah, blah. Well, you had to. So those of us that were selling items online were like, hallelujah, hello, it was great for us. Well, what's still happening? People are still in their homes. People are still not going shopping. So e-commerce, the demand for it did not decrease. In fact, it continues to escalate every year. So to get into it now is just a really great opportunity. So there's that. Second thing happening, what's happening in the United States right now, you guys? Y'all's gas prices are like through the roof. I'm hearing, what, $7 a gallon? Like crazy town, crazy town, crazy town. So people now are saying, well, heck, I'm not going to use gas to go to Target or to go to Walmart or to go to wherever. I'm just going to get on Etsy or Amazon to buy my things. Hello, where are we selling our stuff? On there. So because of gas prices, things like that, opportunities there for us. 6 other reasons really quickly. The timing. Right now, at the time of this recording, it is March the 11th. We have an entire year to make sales and to learn this business to get ready for what? Quarter 4. Quarter 4 is October, November, December. That's the Christmas season. That's literally the Super Bowl of e-commerce sales. That's where you're going to make, I'm not going to curse it. I was going to say an S ton of money, but all of your money is quarter 4. So we now have all of this lead time to be testing items and get things ready and learn how to do things to get ready for the Super Bowl of sales for e-commerce. So we're really early right now, which I'm super happy about. Next, we also have this whole year, we can take advantage of what I call seasonal niches. What's coming up May the 8th? We have Mother's Day. Aside from Christmas, Mother's Day is the second most profitable holiday ever for those that sell physical products. So we have Mother's Day sales we can take advantage of. And by the way, I'm going to be doing a whole week of a whole month actually, Mother's Day trainings for you guys starting in a couple of weeks. So I've got you covered on that. We've got Mother's Day, we have Father's Day, graduation, back to school, summertime stuff. So we have all these seasonal things that are coming into play that we could take advantage of, and quarter 4 coming up too. Next, you guys are so lucky that you're getting into this right now because of the ease of the technology. Companies like, systems like LaunchCart. LaunchCart didn't exist back in 2018 when I was starting this back in the olden days. You guys can just click a few buttons, literally click a few buttons and have a whole store built with items loaded down into it, integration setup. It's literally push button easy. So you all have it a lot easier than I did, and new items come out year after year after year. So you're in a great time to get started. Next, with you all creating stores with LaunchCart or other platforms or what have you, did you know that every store that you create is actually digital real estate for you? And this real estate, you can actually sell real estate. You can actually sell your stores, right? So that's a huge opportunity that I'm sure somebody will get into later on, but that's another opportunity. And then next, you can make a lot of money with this skill set. Once you learn print on demand to do these products that we're actually selling, I can give you 10 other ways that you can monetize this new skill set you have in your brain, doing so many other things. And I'm gonna do some trainings around that too, so don't worry. But this skill set that you have is I make so much money because I know print on demand, and I slice that knowledge up so many different ways. So you guys are gonna learn the same things too. And then lastly, I talked about this before, low cost to entry. You know, you can decide, I wanna create a business. Well, most people think, well, that means I need to go buy a franchise, a Subway franchise or whatever. So they'll go, I think it's $1 million to get a Subway franchise to sell freaking sandwiches, right? So they've got this brick and mortar store, all this money you need, you gotta take loans out and all this stuff to have a business. Whereas with print on demand e-commerce, like I said, $100. And I'm kind of stretching that, right? You can even do it with less than that. So low cost to entry. Now, anybody have any questions about what print on demand is? Because I'm gonna roll right into niches. We got an hour together. I don't wanna miss anything. So we're gonna go right into what a niche is. But anybody have any questions on
I wanted to comment real quick, if you don't mind. Yes. So this is the first time we're working together. So I'm sitting here listening, taking my notes. And the first thing I want to do is I started getting into Clubhouse, listening to Clubhouse, because we're going to start a podcast. And in Clubhouse, I do these room resets because there's new people that have joined. And I also forgot, the one thing I want everyone to do is you need to like this video, share this video, tag a friend that needs to hear this information about print on demand. and ask your question below. Now, if you're watching it in our Facebook group, there's a little thing underneath the description that says give StreamYard permission to show your name. So when I do like this, it shows me Latasha's name, as opposed to this person didn't click that little link. So there's like a little link that gives StreamYard permission to show your name in the comment box. But I am monitoring the questions, and I'm monitoring if you like something you see, make a comment, do something, give us some love, because then Facebook algorithm shows this to more people, which is good for us, right? So we appreciate that. We're giving you this free value. If you could do that for us, that'd be fantastic. So I just wanted to jump in and say, that's what reset the room or whatever. That's that Clubhouse terminology. I don't know, but that's what I want you guys to do.
I appreciate that. Now, I cannot see questions. So, Greg, if you see any questions, can you just yell them out to me? I don't see any because I can't.
Yeah, I'll pop them up on here if it's not too distracting to you.
I think I need to go back then to here. There we go. Okay. Is this on YouTube? I'm on Facebook, but I like YouTube better. You know what? Greg, we're not on YouTube, but we can be on YouTube.
No, we are.
Right?
This is streaming on YouTube. So if you go to LaunchCart's YouTube channel on our live button, we're streaming there right now. So, and actually, if you go to launchcart.com/live, the YouTube feed is being fed to our website, launchcart.com/live.
Love it. See,
okay.
More stuff every day. I'm everywhere then, right? Any other questions? Finding a print-on-demand sets for clothing is difficult. You know, there are some places, Latasha, to find sets. We're going to talk about product selection tomorrow, and I can show you some places for that. Now, what I will say, so one of my hobbies, because I have no life, right? I love finding print-on-demand products and things that are really, really unique. So I do know some companies that sell sets, but they're out of China. I personally absolutely refuse to do any kind of print-on-demand or anything out of China because of shipping times and other things like that. So as far as American companies that are based in the USA, which is my own personal criteria, there aren't any that I know. We're going to talk about product selection tomorrow, but that's a really great comment.
Hey, I've got a question that I think kind of leads into this that I want you to answer. And that is, to me, there's two tracks somebody can go down. One track is, I'm going to create a print-on-demand store to make money. And I'm going to find products with good margins. I'm going to go after that niche to make money. Then you got the other people that go, well, I breed cats and I want to have the ragdoll cats and I want to have a brand. I want to build a brand. So I need to find products that fit within that niche. And they're two completely different business models, and you have to have two different explanations. So would you give your ideas and thought on those two things?
I sure would. So what Greg is saying is that we're going to go to the niche part. Now, this is kind of a great segue into that. So we're going to talk about niches now. Let me first of all talk about what a niche or a niche is before I answer that question. So a niche or a niche, both is pronounced both ways depending on where you are in the world. I like to say a niche. A niche is it's kind of hard to explain. It's who you're selling your products to. It's what market that you're in with your products. So Greg mentioned, you're becoming the cat niche as an example. So you could have a niche where you're selling to people that are cat lovers, or you're in the golf niche. You can be selling to people that love golf as an example. So your niche, you're going to want to select it because you're going to want to know who you're creating products for that are going to buy your products, right? So it's really important to pick out a niche. So what Greg is asking is he sees basically two tracks, and I do too. Two tracks in this print-on-demand business. You can either, pick a niche, make a bunch of products or a bunch of niches actually, and just make products to sell just to make money. And you can do that. That's something that I've done. I'm in a lot of different niches. I have products out there and it runs the gamut and they make money. Or you can decide to build what I call a real business and have a brand. You've got a logo, you have your own store that sells this particular brand and this one item, and you're building a branded store. I actually have just done that. I just launched my own branded candles called Motherland Candle Company. I'll show this to you in a little bit. So that is my own brand that I own, that I can do whatever I want to with it. And my goals with that are to get it to millions of dollars, get it in stores, and then obviously sell it later on. So there's two tracks. You can build your own brand, which is totally great. Or you can just do a lot of niches or pick one niche and do a lot of products in it. So what I recommend for people that are new and newer, because I love variety, because I'm just kind of like out there. I love doing a lot of different things. So I like having a lot of different niches, a lot of different items out there. But now that I'm more advanced, I'm like, okay, well, now I can actually do my own brand. So Greg, what are your thoughts on that? Your own personal thoughts. You've been in this game for a lot longer than I have been.
Yeah, no, and I've done both. I used to do this what we call chasing trends, right? And you can think about whether it's Black Lives Matter or the Trump fans or the Biden fans or Let's Go Brandon, you know, so you're always chasing something, and it's a great way to make cash in a cash grab. But I don't really like it as a business model and an asset building model. And I love what you talked about earlier, that this is an asset. You're buying and creating real estate asset. And as you create that brand and you stay into your niche and you get known for, you know, I had this other site called Mimi's Gifts, grandma's gifts for grandmas, Mimi's Gifts, right? I have another one that I'm going to do for hang gliding, and everyone knows I created Rescue Joe, Drink a Cup, Save a Pup, a coffee brand. So I like creating brands. There's less money and cash grab up front, but long term, I'm building an asset that I can sell, I can hand down to my granddaughters or kids or whatever. And so it just goes back to your philosophy and where you're at financially and what you want to do. And it's easier to find hot niches and hot products to go to that niche and make some quick money. It's a lot harder to take that strategy and build it into a brand that really has a value that you can sell to somebody else. That's my opinion.
Yep, I agree. I agree. So as we talk about niches, I want to talk about basically there's 3 levels. Susan Silva says both. I have the branded stores for my site, so making a niche on different topics, bees and happiness. See, that's the thing with this is why I love this so much, you guys. You can do whatever you want. You're not like, if you decide I want a branded store, that's great, but you can do that. And so you can do whatever you want to do. And for those of you all that are multi-passionate like me, I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur. I love all the things. You can do that too. So with niches, I want to talk about 3 different levels of niches. I want to talk about evergreen, or really I guess there's 4 now, we got the branded in there: evergreen, seasonal, and trends. So, and then you can also do your own brand is what we just talked about. So what is an evergreen niche? An evergreen niche, and this is the one that if it were me, I would have the bulk of my business around an evergreen niche. Evergreen, what does that mean? It means it's something that you create, a niche that you pick that sells all year round. It's not tied to a trend. It's not tied to a season. So as an example, let's say that I'm in the dog niche as an example. And specifically, I'm in the Pomeranian niche because I love Pomeranians. So people will buy Pomeranian dog niche stuff in January, February, March, December, June. It's not tied to anything. It's evergreen. You can sell it year round. And so I think it's very wise as you're choosing niches to pick ones that are more evergreen versus the second category are seasonal niches. I talked about Mother's Day earlier. Mother's Day is seasonal. We just had Valentine's Day that came by. So we had Valentine's Day, we've got Mother's Day, you've got spring, you've got summer, you've got fall, you've got winter, you've got back to school. These things that happen once per year. You can make a ton of money, I promise you, just doing seasonal niches. But the con to that is once those events are done, your money stops. Ask me how I know. I've done print-on-demand books for sale on Amazon for years now. I make a ton of money passively doing that. But when I first started it back in 2018 in January, I was like, okay, I want to do this. What do I do? What niche do I go into? And I said, well, Valentine's Day is coming up. I'll do that. So I made 10 Valentine's Day low content books, put them up for sale. And I put these up on like January the 15th. They started selling immediately. I made $2,000 right out the gate, not knowing what I was doing. And I was like, whoa, this works. This is great. This is great. Well, what happened? February 11th, my sales stopped. I didn't make any sales after that. I was like, oh, snap. I need to like figure something else out. But what happens now is that every February, those books I made back in 2018, they sell like crazy. So there are pros and cons to seasonal. We've got Mother's Day coming up, you guys. I'm going full on into Mother's Day this year, and LaunchCart, I don't know if I can talk about this, not great, but LaunchCart has some great surprises, I'll say, for us coming up in the pipeline that will sell incredibly well for Mother's Day. So for the month of April, I'm not doing anything else except Mother's Day sales. I've got to be teaching you guys this too. But that's a season which I can make a ton of money in a very short period of time. So that's really
I got to jump in again. So whenever you see me jump in, that means so you were talking about, I think you had 6 or 7 reasons why the timing's now. And another really big one is launch cart. What we're doing in the print on demand world, and then on the manufacture on demand world, and the 3D print on demand world, which most of you don't know what's going on. Sheila's starting to get an insight of what's going on because we have these meetings on a weekly basis. We're going to own and dominate and make it so easy for you to source products. We're going to be at this company that we're a never-ending supply of here's new product, here's new product, here's new niche, here's new this, here's new that. So that is another really big reason you're at the right place at the right time with the right trainers. And then the other thing I will say about what you just said about the niches, because we all have different ways of articulating things. So you have pets is a niche, but it's a kind of big and broad niche. You dial it down to Pomeranians. Okay, now that's where the riches is in the super niches, right? So and then you think about gifts. When what she just said about gifts is amazing, right? You can make a lot of money on Mother's Day, a lot of money on Valentine's Day. But what if you had a gift store and you built a brand around Mimi's Gifts, which is what I was doing, and Mimi's Gifts, I then made money on all the holidays from one store and it became branded. And then you can kind of offshoot off that branding strategy to gifts for wedding engagements, gifts for graduation, and gifts that kind of like go year round. So you can kind of like subsidize, because those are the big money makers, the big holidays, but then you can subsidize it by doing gifts around other occasions.
Those are all great points. We're going to be talking about that. I have a store called Easy Family Gifts that totally gets on that because it took me years to figure this out, the whole gift niche. But then once I did, it just took off for me. So my Easy Family Gifts allows me to sell gifts and all these things year round and Grace Point. And we're going to learn more about that as we're working together going forward too. So we got the evergreen niches, we've got the seasonal niches. Let's hit on trends a little bit too. As Greg mentioned, trends. I think of a recent trend, that whole Go Brandon thing with the Biden, whatever. I'm not political, so it's like whatever. But the Go Brandon thing really hit. So I guess some guy said Go Brandon, it was about Biden, and then it got picked up worldwide. Well, with us doing print on demand, if somebody was savvy and watching that, they could have said, that's going to be a thing. They literally could have gotten on Canva or whatever and typed up Go Brandon, got it transparent, put it up on products, and had a Go Brandon shirt or mugs and everything else selling within like 30 minutes of that news item breaking. And they could have been first to market on Amazon, these other places. So print on demand allows us to take advantage of trends that happen in the markets. You know, Trump had a lot of trends. There's a lot of trends coming up. So as you watch those things, you can do that too. Now, I don't suggest building a business around trends because, you know, you get these one-hit things. You have no idea when they're going to happen. So it's not necessarily a business model, but I just want to make you aware of the fact that if you see a trend that happens like immediately, you can think, oh, hey, you can take advantage of that. So I just want to top line that. Now, the next thing I want to cover is what Greg talked about as well, is let's talk about niches. Now that we know we've got evergreen, seasonal, trends, and then you've got building a brand. When you get a niche, I mentioned the riches are in the niches, right? But as Greg stated, you don't want to go broad because most people think, oh, well, I'll pick a broad niche because a lot of people will buy my things. No, the reality is extremely counterintuitive. It's the exact opposite. You want to go very, 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 very narrow. Let's use fitness. No, let's use dogs as an example. So let's use the dog niche. Everybody loves dogs. We have dogs, means focusing on dogs. If you try to put something in just the dog niche, I promise you, you will not get sales because it's too crowded. It's too saturated by really big companies that can outspend you for ad dollars. But what you want to do then is like cut it down to a specific dog breed. Pomeranian, Scottish Terrier, a Puggle, a Pug, a Bulldog, or whatever. So if you have a Bulldog store, for example, people are really passionate about the breed of dog that they have. I've only ever had Scottish Terriers when I was growing up, and my mother loved them too. Our house was filled with Scottish Terriers. Anytime my mother saw anything with a Scottish Terrier on it, she would buy Scotty, 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 Scotty. Now, the great thing about that was you couldn't really find those things in the stores. And so when we were creating print-on-demand products, and we mentioned this too, it's kind of a little sidebar, we're not making things that someone can just go to Walmart or Target and buy. We're making things that they can't go buy. So for instance, if you have the Scottish Terriers as your favorite dog, or a Puggle, for instance, I can't go to Walmart and find those things. They're too not common. So I'm going to have to go shop online looking for things like that, and I'm willing to pay a premium for them. So you really want to drill down into sub-niches. And I've got some examples for you. Let's say the fitness niche. Fitness niche is huge. Fitness, weight loss, exercising, but you can't just do something in fitness. You got to narrow it down. So how do we narrow that? You got fitness. Let's say, how do I narrow that down even more? Well, gender, men or women. Okay, let's say women's fitness. Okay, great. Even that's really broad. Well, what else can I do to take it down a little bit further? What about pregnant women? Okay, great, we're getting there. Now what else can we do? How about I create products that are for women who have just had babies that want to focus on getting their snatch back, getting their waist back. So your niche could be, I help women regain their figures after having a baby. That's how you make a lot of money in a broad niche. You carve out your little space in it. So in print on demand, as an example, let's use the golf niche as an example. The golf niche is huge. I promise you, if you just try to do golf, don't even, it's a wrap. However, what if you focus on left-handed golfers? There's a huge market for that, but it's very non-saturated. So you can do something for left-handed golfers or blind golfers, or all kinds of different kind of golfers, and you can still get in that golf niche, but you've got your own lane, you sub-niche down. So I hope that makes sense. So as you're thinking about your niches, you've got to think about how do you slice that pie to go really, really, it's like a funnel, to slice it down really, really narrow so that you've got your lane. Wish Upon a Disney by Susan Silva. This is good. I was working on a site today, was thinking if this niche too big, if it is confirming I should trust my gut, and it is. Perfect.
Yeah. And I wanted to comment on that too, just as another little cherry on top of that. And that is, as you're thinking about going deeper in what that niche is, which part of the niche has an emotional pull? So for instance, me with Rescue Joe, I have a coffee company. I got a cute name, Rescue Joe, drink a cup, save a pup. That's cool. But the idea that I'm going to donate money to dog rescues is an emotional pull, right? People that they love their dogs and they love dog rescues and they support the Humane Society and stuff. That's an emotional pull. And then I got the addiction side of coffee, right? So I am addicted to coffee and I love dogs, and that's cool. And then eventually we'll make blends. That's the Chihuahua blend and the Golden Retriever blend, and we'll come up with all kinds of little sub niches that. But again, those have emotional. Sometimes there's an emotional pull on that niche you're picking, and that's what's going to get people to go, I can't get that at Walmart, I can't get that at Target, I'll pay $35 for that because I love what it says and I love the emotion it's giving me.
Exactly. I love that. I love that. You could even do niches by race. For example, my first niche, my first product I created, I mentioned before, it was African American Christmas wrapping paper. It's print on demand. Why is that? Well, when you go into the stores, when I was going to Walmart, there were literally 100,000 SKUs of Christmas products, 10 freaking items, 10 rows, 100,000 SKUs. Not one item looked like me with this melanated skin. Well, my mother and I had collected Black Santa stuff for my whole lifetime, and we always had to really fight to find stuff. So it's like, this is ridiculous. I can't find any wrapping paper that represents me. So I just made it myself. And that's why it took off like a rocket. Oh my God, I sold thousands of rolls of that stuff in like 2 weeks time. It was crazy. So the niches that I personally tend to go into are races that represent underrepresented people. So a lot of my niches are for African-American people. For instance, we have a princess line coming up as African-American princesses, right? Because representation matters. So that's kind of my thing. So think about, is there a underrepresented niche that relates to you? Maybe there's, the Hispanic niche or the Asian niche of something that's really popular, but are we seeing an Asian face on it? So you can think about it that way too. What else I want to tell you? Go narrow versus going wide, evergreen trends. Where do we find these niches? So let's go back to my screen share and I'll talk about where we find these darn things. All right, you should see Etsy on the screen. If you see Etsy, let me know.
Yep, we see Etsy.
Alrighty. So the places that I go to find niches, because I'm constantly looking for them. Etsy's a good place. Etsy, Amazon, eBay, these are great places. So how do you find what's really selling? I don't want to sign in right now. So what I do is, this is a great thing to do. Greg,
hey, real quick, there's a little bit of that thing that says you're sharing your screen.
Yes.
And if you hit that hide button.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. I didn't know you guys could see that. All right, there we go. So as Greg mentioned, with print on demand, most people are going on these sites to buy gifts for other people. And once I figured that out, that was just a game changer for me. So it's not so much me looking for me buying stuff, it's people buying stuff gifts for other people. So I was like, well, what's the biggest gift buying site out there? Well, Etsy is. So what I do is I'll go into Etsy and I'll just type in gifts for. Now, do you see when I type in gifts for, you see this words come down. Well, those words, these are things that people are actually searching for right now. So this tells me, it's this great information. People are searching for gifts for mom, gifts for men, gifts for him, boyfriend, gifts for box, gifts for cards, gifts for dad, gifts for her. It's just like giving us this data. These are all niches. You can literally choose the niche. You could choose the gifts for mom niche and literally create a store that is all about gifts for mothers. So let's do that. Let's look for gifts for. Another way to find more niches, you go to gifts for, and you can type in the letter A. And you see here, a woman, a man, a bride, a grandma. This is how you're able to go down further, 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 further. So then I'll do gifts for B, see what comes up. Bride, bag, best friend, boyfriend. I'll go to M as an example. Men, gifts for men who has everything. Gifts from mom, from daughter. Look, I mean, these are crazy, these niches. Let's do L. Gifts for, oh, this is a big one. Gifts for loss of mother, loss of dogs. You guys, the memorial niche is massive, massive. People wanting gifts to commemorate a loved one, massive. And the thing you could do with that particularly, this is kind of a sidebar for you guys, anything that you can personalize, you can charge more money for. We're going to talk about this tomorrow, but you can charge some money for it and make a lot more money. So the memorial niche allows you to do that. Look at this one here. Gifts for lesbian girlfriend. That is a niche, period. Okay, so let's go back to mom. So what I'll do is I'll just pick mom. So I'll go on to Etsy and I just spend a couple hours just going through things. I see what comes up. So what I'm looking for in Etsy is, Etsy gives us, they tell us what the best sellers are. So as my screen comes up here, I just kind of look around and I'm looking first of all for the best seller badge. So let's see if I can find any here. Here's one, popular now, this mug, a personalized mom's little craps mug, whatever. So I would write that down. So that mug is popular. Popular now, letters to my mom in heaven. There's a memorial, that's a journal. And so I just go through here and I just look for different items that I'm like, okay, I can make that or what have you. And I just make a whole list and a whole spreadsheet of things that really catch my eye. Here's a bestseller. This is again too, let's open this one up. This mug, this mom's little SHITS's, this is clearly a popular mug. And I look at, well, why is this popular? Why is this selling? And how can I emulate? Now, we do not copy, to be clear. I'm looking for ideas. And so the ideas I'm getting are, okay, it's a mother's niche, and it's a way for the mom to name her kids. So what that tells me then for my gift store is that if I create items in which moms can put their kids' names on them, that's going to be really, really popular. So I'm going to write that down. You see here, it's a bestseller, right? So let's see here. And this item, another thing I look for, this item down here, this one in particular has gotten 339 reviews, which is huge. And I looked to see like how these are the reviews. So the recent review is like February the 8th. People are buying this mug like right now. So what this data tells me is that this niche, which would be a mom gift that she can personalize and name her children on it, I can create all kinds of creative different things in which I could do that. And I have a strong possibility of getting quite a few sales. So that is a niche in and of itself. So the mom gift niche, I'm looking for different items that I could actually buy or actually create to sell. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. But I look for the number of reviews because typically for every one review that we see, that equates to about 20 to 25 sales. So if I multiply 339 by 20, you know, I'm going to get a certain number. I can't count like what 6,000 sales or what have you. So that tells me like this item is really, really popular. So I could create my own version of this kind of item and maybe put it on a shirt, on a tote bag, on different items too. But again, we don't copy, but I could create items of this genre. So I hope that makes sense. So I look for other items really quickly before we have to wrap up a little bit here. What else is kind of a bestseller now? I want to find one other thing that we could do print on demand. Popular now. This is the bestseller here. This one, gift for mom. This is glassware, so you could do print on demand glasses. Hope you guys can see this on my screen. So this one here, gift for mom, mother-daughter gift, mom long distance gift. The other thing you want to do when you're researching in Etsy, you want to take down these words here in the title, because what are these words? Gift for mom, mother-daughter gift. These are keywords that you're going to want to use in your listing to get sales, because these words are what people are actually searching for that allow our items to be found. So remember, I typed in gift for mom. And the reason why this came up on page 1 is because what does she have here in the first thing? Gift for mom. That's a mom niche, so that's how we're finding that. So I take note of all these different keywords here, and I just look at what they have. So this is the love between mom and daughter, knows no distance on the front. Then on the back, she's got the states. I can get these graphics off Creative Fabrica, and I could create these same things, maybe in a print-on-demand tumbler, or I could do it in a mug, or I could do it in a t-shirt. So I'm looking for things in which I can take this idea and what other items can I put it on. This is the bestseller, right? So that's how I find niches. I look at Etsy. I also look at Google Trends. So I'll go into Google Trends. It's trends.google.com, and I can just type in something. If we're in the mom niche, I can just type in gifts for mom, and I'll see what comes up. What is Google telling me is trending right now? Many people are searching for these items in Google right now. Can I find something there? Well, what I'm seeing is, which is really great, I'm looking for trends, like when does this go on an upswing? So I see here, there was a big trend for that at Christmas time. So ding, 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 I talked about Q4, gifts for mom is gonna be massively huge at Christmas time, right? Which we all know that. So what do we see? People are searching for bridegroom, day spa, single person, wedding gifts, best gifts for women. So I'm going to go and I'm going to click into Google and I'm going to type in all these things to see what comes up under these things. If I type in best gifts for women 2021, this will tell me what actually sold last year. So I can find different items, et cetera, et cetera. So that's how I use Google Trends. And then lastly, to kind of wrap this up, because we're running on time here. Yeah, okay.
Hey, I did want to say to you, I was going to have to cut it off early, but we're not restricted. I got my thing done earlier.
Oh, good deal. All right. So I use Pinterest. If you guys didn't know this, Pinterest is actually a search engine, just like Google is. And it's also a search engine with what's called buyer's intent, meaning when people are searching for things on Google and Pinterest, they're searching with the plan to find something to buy. They have the intent to buy, so there's buyer's intent from folks that are on Pinterest. Don't sleep on Pinterest, seriously. So I'll come into Pinterest and I'll type in, you know, we'll go with gifts for mom still, gifts for mom. And then same as Etsy, look what we have here. I'm typing in gifts for and finding niches, boyfriend, best friends, men, my boyfriend, dad, coworkers, husband, grandma, different things like that, right? Or I could type in, let's go with the dog thing, dog gifts.
There's a good one, dog tattoos.
Right, I saw that. Dog tattoos,
like,
dog birthday cake, dog rooms, dog breeds. So let's look at dog rooms. I'm going to give you guys some tea to get ready for tomorrow, to kind of tee it up for tomorrow. Let's say that we're in the dog niche, right? So I can look at, so I'll come down, look at this. What does this have? What's in dog rooms people are actually looking for? We've got doors, we've got dog houses. I'm looking at kennels, things like that, creative things. One of the things we could do if you're in the dog niche is we can do print on demand dog pet beds, pet bandanas, personalized pet bowls, doggy sweatshirts, doggy t-shirts. The whole dog niche in print on demand is massive. So lots of high value, high margin items you can actually do. So if you want to just do dog gifts, here we go, this easy pet bed. So I just literally look for things that catch my eye and I just write them down as I'm looking for niches, right? So has this been helpful for you guys? Let's answer some questions. What questions do you have around niches? Did anyone come in that was super confused and now you're like, okay, I kind of get it? Latasha, I find I get the most views of product videos on TikTok and Instagram, not Facebook. Yes. Okay, so let's talk about that. Latasha said that she gets a lot of views for her items. We're talking marketing later on TikTok. So a lot of ways to like market your products. This is kind of off topic, but I'll talk about it for a hot second. It used to be, Facebook ads really big and Instagram ads, whatever, but people aren't really on Facebook anymore to buy things. TikTok is really where it is because all the buyers on there too. So TikTok is a great place to find product ideas, product niches, but also to market your products too. So we're going to talk about marketing ad nauseum later on. Any questions? Yes, bandanas. Yes. Oh my God. Pet bandanas. Crazy. So with print on demand, you can get a pet bandana for what? $5.95 is what I've seen them at. You can sell pet bandanas for $19.95 all day long. Can you personalize a Printful? I believe you can actually. Greg, can you personalize a Printful? I don't use Printful that much.
Well, it's relative to your front end. So you can, because you can lay out the artwork and do that. And Printful gave Shopify this little plugin, so you can do it on Shopify. They haven't given us that plugin yet, so Printful's kind of been a little bit difficult to deal with. But LaunchCart is working right now under the covers on a personalization engine. You'll be able to put it on T-shirts and hats and hoodies and coffee mugs and metal art and canvas art and everything you can think of, drinkware and everything else. It's going to take us a while to get it all built and done and tested, but I'm gonna step out on a limb and say 60 days, and we're going to be up and running with that. And it's amazing technology where you type in the name or type in the personalization that shows it to you live, so you can see exactly what it looks like live. So like that little, and I didn't really like that coffee mug, My Little Shits or something like that. It was like,
right.
I don't know who buys that, but that's one of those snarky things that people like. That's maybe that gag gift or something.
Yeah.
But right. But with that one, you have to imagine what it's going to look like with your kids' names on it. Ours, you're going to be able to type in your names and be able to click a button, and it's going to pop right up and see it. So that's coming, but we don't have it yet. But LaunchCart is committed to creating the best tools for print on demand, manufacture on demand, and helping you source products that will sell.
Because this is why I love LaunchCart. There's like 1,000 reasons why I love LaunchCart so much. Not only for what it has now and how easy it makes us right now for us to do it right now, but also what is coming down the pipeline. When Greg hears about something, because he's been in this business for so freaking long, he's made this for us to do specifically print on demand. This is not a software that was made for something and they're trying to tweak it into doing print on demand. It's like everything that he creates and he comes up with and the team comes up with and creates, it's done for us to do POD. So personalization, all those things coming up, they're all coming in the pipeline. And as I mentioned at the very beginning of this, that is why now is a great time to be getting into it, because we get the benefit of all these new things that are coming with LaunchCart. So I can't say enough about it. Someone had a question about, here we go. Do you integrate with other print-on-demand providers other than Printful? Yes, so there are some coming. I don't know how much I can talk about, so I can let Greg come in and talk about that. Like, I know things and I don't know what I can talk about or not. But
and our commitment is we want to integrate with Printify.
Yes.
Which again, and just so you guys know this too, so we're like you. We want to make money, and everyone thinks Printify has better prices, right? So we're doing integration with Printify right now for our source and sell marketplace. I did a test order yesterday. The shirt, it was a Bella canvas shirt, one color print, right? Bella canvas. My shirt was $12, and they charged me $10 in shipping, which is like, I fell out of my chair. I'm going to call Printify and go, I don't get this. $10 and what? And then I noticed it was like shipped from Poland, which is like, what? So anyway, I must have did something wrong. But anyway, we are going to be integrating. We're looking at Printify, we're looking at Guten, and we're looking at metal art. We're looking at jewelry, canvas art. A whole bunch of integrations are coming, and they're going to be tied to our source and sell marketplace. And so a lot of that's coming. But right now, today, I use Printify, and I use Guten, and I use our order export tool. So orders come in. I just have an automatic thing that exports my orders every day. I've laid out my order export in a format that fits with them. I have an assistant who then takes those, goes into my Printify account, uploads the orders, click, 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 boom, and the orders get sucked right into Printify or Guten, and those products get fulfilled. So, for instance, we're doing some little pins, like that's another good niche, is the political niche, right? If you can get a governor or you can get a mayor, they like to sell stuff. So we're doing some of that stuff. So you can do that right now with Printify, with Guten, and just about anybody who will accept a CSV file to import the orders.
Yeah, I use Printify quite well. Greg, look what you did, Greg, with Printify. You know, Printify is actually an aggregator of different print-on-demand providers. And so you can choose which company you want to fulfill your orders. You probably just pick one that was in Poland versus one that was in the US.
I'm like, why would I do that? It's like,
yeah, people don't really realize. I'm gonna do a whole Printify tutorial for people, because Printify, it's kind of weird because it's not like the other ones. So I'm gonna do a tutorial sometime very, very soon on that. But yeah, I love Printify. I've used Guten for, geez Louise, since 2018. So Guten is great. Lots of really great ones out there. So.
And what was the one that you were using that we're also talking about integrating to, that does, what do they do? They do something. Well, candles. What about candles?
Oh, Custom Happy. Well, Custom Happy, but T-Launch, and I use Printed Mint as well.
I've been talking to Custom Happy all this week.
Yep.
And they got really good prices on coffee mugs as well.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they have the lowest, actually.
Yeah,
they're great. What questions do you guys have on niches? Has this been helpful? Will LaunchCart enable the ability to personalize on multiple products at once? For example, t-shirts, hoodies, and long sleeve shirts at the same time to cut down on time. That's going to be a great question.
That's a really, 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 really difficult software programming use case, right? Because if you were just using Printful and we wanted to build that into Printful, that would be okay, right? I'm going to put this design on a coffee mug, a hat, a hoodie, and I got one provider. But we're not committed to one provider. And so we're going to have multiple providers. So now that use case gets really out of whack. I want to do it. It's impossible. It's impossible to do it with multiple providers. So maybe down the road, it would be integrated for one provider. But our goal is to kind of like Printify and aggregate providers, to aggregate a lot of providers that have good prices, good quality, good shipping times, and give you the best choice. And then eventually what we're going to do with our source and sell marketplace is we're going to create collections. So I'll give you an example. We have the rights to do Tinkerbell, Cinderella, Snow White, Seven Doors, Aladdin, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll create a Cinderella collection. We'll put the design on the shirt. We'll do it. And this is the Cinderella collection for 4 to 8-year-old girls. You'll be able to click a button and boom, add 20 products to your store. Yeah, how cool is that, right? So doing what you're saying with pre-built products. We're also going to be doing that with metal art. So let's say you want to have a patriotic collection, you want flags and eagles and, you know, stuff like that. Click a button, import it. Or faith-based. So we'll really be doing that around niches that we know are the hottest niches, right? And we know the hottest niches are families, because there's always going to be grandmas, there's always going to be moms, there's always going to be babies, there's always aunts and uncles, there's always something with families. And then their pets are always hot, one of the hottest niches there is. And then faith is a hot niche. So we're going to do collections in our source and sell marketplace of pre-done products. And then eventually we'll have those collections where you can personalize those products and make it so easy for you. Because again, if we make it easy for you, you make more sales, you make more money, you go up our ascension ladder, we make more money. It's good for everybody.
Yep. Everybody wins. Everyone wins. What are the questions? Luscia says, love it, love it. Anything on niches? Did anybody have any aha moments? Let me ask this question. Was anyone completely new and you were totally afraid to get started? You're like, you're kind of paralyzed like we all get, and now you feel better after this training. Is anybody fit into that category? Where you're just like, oh my goodness, or you didn't know what this stuff was, and you're like, oh my God, I learned something new. So talk to me about my newbies, or even if you're doing it for a while.
Okay, while we're waiting on that, here's a question from a Facebook user.
Yeah. Any plans to allow the ability to blog on LaunchCart so store owners can have the option to use Pinterest and content marketing to drive traffic to their stores instead of relying solely on page traffic from ads? Oh, that's a great question.
Right now, you can create pages. They're not necessarily blog posts, but they are SEO, and they can be SEO optimized pages. And eventually, soon we'll be opening up our APIs and allowing others to build apps that will pull in Pinterest feeds and pull in Instagram feeds and do social sharing and stuff. And there's just, I got to tell you, when we started building e-commerce, I thought this could be easy. It's like we have the crystal ball. we could copy Shopify and make it better. And it's like, no, this is the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life, because there is so many use cases. There's just so many use cases, but we're committed to doing everything we can to make it easy for you.
Yeah, that's great. What about dropshipping companies? So
same thing. Go ahead.
With print on demand, like Printful and those companies, those are our drop shipping companies. So it's print on demand, and then they drop ship the items to our customers. I think is that what you mean, T.L. Robinson?
Well, and maybe when she's talking about drop shipping, maybe they're thinking about physical products, and physical products could be everything from our spin gym. We got a spin gym from Forbes Riley that we're going to be offering as a fitness tool, as seen on TV type products. And those are kind of products that are going to be in our source and sell marketplace. So our source and sell marketplace is a drop shipping marketplace. Now, right now we're focused on the print on demand, manufacture on demand, but then we're going to find suppliers that go, hey, I got inventory. I need somebody to help me move it. Here's what I'll give it to you for, and here's what you can charge for it, and put it in the marketplace, click a button. And we're going to revolutionize drop shipping. And actually, you guys got to help me. We're going to change the name. Drop shipping has a bad name. And the reason it has a bad name is guys like me, I did $17 million in revenue, 400,000 sales in 9 months. That's the good part. The bad part is my drop shipper didn't supply the last 50,000 sales. And I got 50,000 refunds. And most people do drop shipping from China, and that was from China. And so it's just got a bad rap. So we're going to bring in reputable brands, reputable companies, give them a platform they feel comfortable with, that they can get in this direct-to-consumer dropshipping world. We're calling it e-commerce on demand. So you guys got to help me change the name, and LaunchCart's going to be responsible for this term, e-commerce on demand. We're the e-commerce on demand platform. Oh, you go to LaunchCart, they're on demand. Just go click a button and boom, you fill your whole store with products on demand. Coffee makers. We're going to really build a marketplace with millions of products, and we're going to change the name of dropshipping to on demand.
Love it. I love it. I'm here for it. I'm so happy to be here. I don't know about you all, but I'm happy to be here. This is going to be a great year. Trading has been awesome. Oh, thank you, Facebook user. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for the work you're doing. You've already done so far. Oh, good. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Just wait. Oh my gosh, you guys. So we're going to wrap up tonight, but let me just give you a preview of what's coming up. So tomorrow, 1:30 Central Standard Time. Thank you, Donna. We're going to talk about products. This is my favorite topic in the whole freaking world. I'm going to talk about products we can do, show you what's great, what's out there, what not. We're talking about, thank you, TL. We're talking about pricing, all these different things. And then on Tuesday, we're going to put your store together. Coming up, future trainings, Mother's Day. When I tell you, I personally am planning on doing 6 figures with Mother's Day sales, period. So what I know, y'all are going to know. What I do, y'all can do. I'm sharing everything. So I want to do a series of workshops and live trainings where we're holding each other accountable. We're going to be getting this Mother's Day money. Because again, with what I know that Greg has coming in the pipeline, that's going to really let us make a lot of money with it too. I want us to be ready. So I'll be looking for that toward the last week of March, all the way through April. We're going to have some ideas on marketing, TikTok marketing, all the ways to market these stores. And of course, as new features come out for LaunchCart, we're going to be talking about how to really maximize those too. So I hope you guys have gotten a lot of value. In case you can't tell, I love teaching. I love training. Like, I love this. This is my dream. I love doing this. I love helping people. So thank you so much for being here tonight. You totally honor me on your Friday night. Your time is valuable. So I appreciate it. Greg's appreciate it. Facebook user, I'm wondering if I could make more sales if I had a broader niche like Christian singers as opposed to a narrow niche such as Christian female singers. No, Facebook user, I would stay with Christian female singers because remember we talked about earlier, you want to go deeper. So let's say your niche is, I want to do the Christian niche. Okay, well, you know, that could be anything, right? Okay, well, one step deeper, Christian singers, that's great. But how do we take it even further? Christian female singers. So now imagine you've got a whole product mix that Christian female singers are going to be looking for. If that's your niche, if you know that niche, you know the phrases they love, you know the things they buy, you know where they shop. So you've got this knowledge of them that you can put on items and things like that. So you want to go to the Christian female singers. My goodness gracious, that could be a phenomenal niche. So I would do Christian female. Because again, remember I mentioned before too, I said it's counterintuitive. We really think I want the broadest niche to get the most sales. It's like, no, you flip that. It's totally counterintuitive. You want a narrow niche in the broader circle, the broader spectrum.
And let me make that even better. I'll put the cherry on the top. I like that term. So like just do what she said. Start there. And as you build your brand up, maybe that's 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or a year, then you can start broadening it.
Yes.
Right. Then you can go broad, but you go broad and you can't make it. You can't do it. You start narrow and then you can start to broaden out and broaden out and broaden out and broaden out and really build that broader niche. But you got to start narrow.
Yep. Great cherry. I like that cherry. Remind folks that more than one store solves the female versus other singers of launch cart. You can manage more stores.
Yeah, no, that's what's cool about LaunchCart is we have the multi-store management. You log into one account and you can have, I have 9 stores in my account or 8 stores, something like that. I have a whole list of stores. So Rescue Joe and Inspiration by God and Faith, Family, and Freedoms. I have my Patriot. I have all, so you can do the same thing. You can have multiple niches. But again, I will say this too, for beginners and newbies, pick one.
Exactly.
Concentrate and dominate. Concentrate and dominate. You start to spread yourself too thin. It's a little like the shiny object syndrome, and you don't make any money. Once you start making money and you really learn it, and then from there, what we're talking about here is the ramp, the launch. I call it the launch. Then we're going to go into the scale. And that's where you get your funnels, your upsells, your downsells, your cross sells, your order bumps, and your email marketing. So we're going to launch and then scale. And once you go deep into one niche, boom, then you can start to have other niches too. But you're right, you can do that with multiple stores.
And that's the hardest thing for us, you guys. It's like, I want to do all niches. And I'm going to tell you from my own personal experience, I've been an entrepreneur for 16 years now. If I would have followed that advice of just having one niche, one lane, I'm successful now. But I mean, I would be like owning an island, like legit own an island. So take Greg's advice. One niche, Christian female singers, ride that sucker till the wheels fall off. Seriously, a certain amount of money goal that you want to make for that. You're such an amount of expert in that, and it's automated, boom, boom, boom. You can add in other things, but don't try to be doing all the things right now just because you can. So let's master the basics. That's why I want to do this niche research as a very first night, because this is the most important thing. You pick your niche, get rich. You pick your one lane and you stay in that lane, period, and have a ball doing it.
And you know what? You bring up a really good point, and that is even guys like me. I'm so busy, and I know I know so much. I don't spend enough time really just let me relax and research Etsy and research Pinterest and research Google Trends and research, Gear Bubble and Viral Style and Teespring and whatever else. Like in Amazon's another one, right?
Yes.
Same thing with Amazon. And they all do this little drop down. You start to type in the words and they all show you the drops down. So if I want to figure out a hang gliding niche, hang gliding A, up hang gliding B, hang gliding C, hang gliding D, and I start to look at those niches that come up, and you spend the time for research. It's going to inspire you and get your mojo going, and then from there you can start to implement, execute with your print-on-demand products and designs and things of that nature. And let me say this too: go into your LaunchCart store, click on New Product, click on Design Marketplace, okay, and start throwing keywords in Design Marketplace. And you say Mother's Day, see what comes up. Say Valentine's Day, see what comes up. Type in Patriot, see what comes up. Type in USA, see what comes up. Type in the keywords for your niche. You're going to probably find some images. There's thousands of images there. But if you don't, put in the Facebook group, tag one of us. Hey, we have a designer on staff, and we're constantly creating new designs and new things. And we're going to open up that design marketplace to graphic artists over the world, and we're going to revenue share with them. And once we do that, boom, it's going to be amazing. The quality of artwork is going to be amazing. So go in there and see what we have, because I know that's where I get hung up. I am not a graphic person.
Me neither.
I can't make designs to save my life, but I can go in there and put in a keyword and search and go, oh, I like that flag, or I like that Mother's Day, or I like that grandma design. And I can click a button and download it.
Love it.
Okay.
Well, that's it. Oh, one last thing I want to bring up too, because I had some in my notes and I forgot to bring it up. Hold on. Place to find niches as well. What are your own interests? I forgot to mention this, you guys. It doesn't need to be something outside of you. Think about your own interest. The Christian female singers, I'm kind of guessing the Christian space is where you are. Greg mentioned hang gliding, so let me think about it. Are you a hang glider? Or do you have a sport that you do? Are you a skier? Are you a snowboarder? Are you a blah, 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 blah? If you have a hobby that you excel at or something that you're really into, that could be your niche because you're a subject matter expert. Don't think you need to pick some esoteric out in the world, something that will sell. Start internal. Like I mentioned, for me, my niche is African-American everything, period. Because hi, but I do other niches too, but that's where I always start. So look inward and what you do or what your spouse does, your partner does, your siblings do, people that are around you, look at what they do. If you're still hung up on the whole niche thing. So I want to kind of put that in there too. So
Hey, can you do one thing that you had said
yes.
earlier? You would show your candle site.
Yes, I just thought
And
about
I
that too.
saw that site and I'm like, wow, beautiful
All
branding,
right.
beautiful images,
So
great little niche. And I personally, up until I met you, and when I
uh-huh.
met you at that event, and we're going to see
Yeah.
each other next week,
Yep.
I didn't know you could do drop shipping of candles. And so there's a good example. So talk us through what you got here.
Yes. So we talked about having a brand earlier. Well, one of the things I've always wanted to do is have my own candle line for like the past 5 years. Was I mentioned at the beginning of the call, you guys know I've been a home free world traveler, so I couldn't make candles in my house when I'm living in the Dominican Republic and all that stuff. So I couldn't figure out how to do it. So I started searching for candle lines I could drop ship, but I just couldn't find the right provider, whatever. Well, one of my mentors has a print on demand candle company, which I can private label and have my own candle line. And this is what I've come up with. It's Motherland Candle Company. And it's I just launched it last week. It's doing really, really well. So I have a Johannesburg, there's Lagos, I have candles for men, candles for women, and they smell amazing. There's Tanzania, Senegal. I'm just really grateful with how they came out. And this is all built on Launchcart. So I literally built this site on Launchcart 2 Sundays ago. I hired a designer. They bailed on me and I had to launch. I was like, oh, I don't know what I do. So Greg says, well, just build it on Launchcart. So I did this myself. So this is one of those to where if Sheila can do this, y'all can do this. I promise you. Launchcart makes it so freaking easy. And then Greg's daughter, Candace, made it all pretty for me. She just really zhuzhed it up for me. But I have my candles here and makes it easy to buy. So here's, like, you go on Joburg as an example. Launchcart is so cool because, like, I can do free shipping. I can have my About Me page. Here's the About Me where, computer's a little slow.
Well, it really slows down when we're doing this live streaming.
Yeah, it does. So there's me. It talks about my, why I started it, whatever. So you got that. And then if I go to shop, I'll show you I want to show you the checkout page. This is really important. Launchcart, I'm telling you, they've thought of everything. So when a person goes to check out, you can either lose your customers on the checkout page, or you can get them to convert to buy more. And let me show you what they've done. So I'm going to add this to cart.
And when you guys visit the store and look at it, I want you to look at the color schemes, the button rollovers, the use of the light kind of, I'm not sure what that's, a green or it's a gray, whatever that is, but it's a really nice tone. And then the gold accents and the gold links and the buy buttons. It's a really, really good job on the color scheme of what you have there. I love it.
Thank you. So let's talk about this checkout page. This is really important when you're really heavy in e-commerce and know kind of what you're doing. It'll load up in a second here. The trust factor in this checkout page, because most people will put up a site, they don't know what they're doing, and it looks really scammy. People are very cautious about, like, okay, is this real? Is this not? Blah, 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 blah. And so if you have a scammy looking site, people are like, no, I'm not buying from this, whatever. But when this comes up eventually, you'll see that this checkout page looks very trustworthy. Like, I would be like, yeah, I'm going to buy it. My goodness.
I don't know what the internet is. I wonder how, let me see if it's on my side.
It's because we're filming, because my internet's really fast here. Hold on. There we go. So look at this. So you get the email first, which is great. So if someone pulls off the page, I've got their email. I kind of follow with them with other retargeting, but that's another conversation. Shipping address, all that stuff. But look at this. So we've got, I can do a coupons, you can do a shipping, but this trust factor here, this looks really secure to me. It's powered by Stripe. It's encrypted. I look at this and I'm like, all right, I feel very confident about this, that I can buy from this site. It's not a scam. It's not going to take my money, whatever. And this is all within Launchcart that you can actually have in here too. Other thing, when I made the site, I did my privacy pages, my all those things. I didn't need to hire an attorney for that. It's just push a button and it's plug and play. So this is my site. I'm very proud of it. It's a labor of love. I'm just very proud of it. So yeah, thanks for letting me show that. So motherlandcandlecompany.com. That's my candle company, and I'm just happy.
Yeah, and if you guys want to buy a candle, don't let us stop you.
Exactly.
And the one thing that's not done yet, I just noticed on your checkout page, and then on your homepage too, is you didn't have your logo yet done. You're waiting on your logo. Because
I'm waiting on my designer.
If the designer gets the logo done, the logo will go on the top left, and it'll also show up on the checkout page. And then we could even consider putting that countdown timer on that checkout page. But
Yep.
look who showed up finally. I don't know, maybe she's been here the whole time.
Hey, Candace. Candace made my page pretty. And you'll see Candace on Tuesday as well. We got to talk and coordinate. I hope she can do it with me. Candace is Greg's daughter. She is a phenomenal young woman that I've gotten to know. And she's just a really great young woman. She's brilliant. She's smart. She's dope. She's sweet. She has her own site, Dope Mamas. And she's just a badass. I just love her to pieces. And she is head of all the site designing and all that stuff. So she has a gift with that stuff. So if you want to have your site done, that's who you're going to work with and all that stuff too. And also too, Launchcart, you can have us make your sites for you, FYI. So lots of things with Launchcart. I'm a Launchcart evangelist, in case y'all can't tell.
Okay, so we're going to call it a day, I think. I don't think you have anything else.
No,
so
I'm
here's
good.
the thing. I just want to say again, please comment below. Tell us, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, you thought it was this. What is the verbs and the adjectives of you thought about Sheila? Give her some love. Let people know. Tag a friend. Share it out there. We're going to get this group all warmed up, and we want to start to get where we have hundreds of people live on this website. And another thing we're going to do, I'm going to plant this seed, is we're going to start doing some site hot seats.
I like that.
Now, see, I know if I brought that up publicly, you'd say that. And it's like, Sheila, can you do that for me? No, but I love doing the site hot seats, and I know Candace does that too. But part of what we're doing with our Launch Shops Partners program, we're going to teach people how to do site audits and just teach little tweaks that have massive impacts on your conversions and your sales. And we're going to kind of do that. So with that being said, I want to say thank you, Sheila. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Everyone in the group, scroll down, find tomorrow's feed, and hit get reminder. Click that little button, get reminder, and then Facebook will pop it up reminder. And even better than that, get your phone and put an alarm on your phone. Like I tell my phone every morning, every meeting I have, give me an alarm, book it, and then I'll do some emails to remind you as well, because we want to get people on there. We're going to even get more people. So I want to say thank you, Sheila. Thank you, everybody. And I'll let you close it out.
Thank you. This has been great, you guys. Thanks for all the energies, the replay. Yes, it's live in the group, so you'll see it in the group, and you're going to replay as well. Thanks on the insights. I appreciate it, you guys. Sheila's amazing. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, this is great. So this is, I mean, if you think this is just training number 1, just say, y'all don't even know. Oh my God, y'all don't know what's coming. So tomorrow, join us at 1:30 Central. We're going to do my favorite thing in the world, which is look at products. I want you guys to come to say, I want to do this product, and we'll see if we can find it. I'm a product sourcing genius. I find high margin products. I tell you how to price them. I give y'all all that tea. So be here tomorrow, y'all. I know it's Saturday, but be here tomorrow and then be here on Tuesday. All right. I love you guys. You honor me. Leave me some feedback below. If there's anything I could do better, you want to see more of what you loved, tell friends, because this is the place to be, y'all. The Launchcart group, the Launchcart 2022 and beyond. It's a wrap. So love you guys. Thank you, Greg.